Uganda's high scores on some key pillars in the financial markets index overshadowed by the spillover of global geopolitical tensions into the domestic economy.
There are recent spikes in prices of fuel, of soap, of cooking oil, and a few other specific items. The rise in these prices is a temporary shock, and more so an external shock, having been caused by disruptions in the global supply chain by COVID-19, as well as now the geopolitics we are seeing in different parts of the world. This situation will normalize, and very soon we shall see some of these spikes peak and get down.
Risks recently sounded by the central bank, but the deputy governor insisting the shocks are short-term.
There are some supply-side shocks, particularly, take for example, the raw materials for soap making, all right? There are some supply-side shocks that have hit the main producing countries like Indonesia and Malaysia. So we cannot get enough raw materials for that. So there's a supply-side shock which is affecting availability of soap. That is to do with limited availability of inputs. So that's why some prices are going up, all right? But we believe that these are short-term things.
On his part, the managing director, ABSA Bank, Mumba Kalifungwa, explains whether international transactions could be affected by recent sanctions on Russia from the SWIFT international payment system.
Are international transactions outward allowed, or are there restrictions in terms of outward and inward flows of what comes in? So really it is all about regulation and clarity in terms of what sanctions would be applied. And what we do from a banking sector, we have approaches in terms of policies, sanctions policies, and how you implement that. And that will also filter downwards from the position that the government takes. The central bank and regulation will be very clear in terms of what we can and cannot do.
Back to the Financial Markets Index released by ABSA Bank today, the recently enacted National Payment Systems Act earning Uganda high scores. David Wandera is the Executive Director, ABSA Bank.
This has been a significant win, a big change from where we were before. As you can see from the measure, it moved quite. We got almost a full marks on netting position enforcement and standard market agreements. Basically, it means that people can come into Uganda and transact comfortable, that they'll be able to have efficient settlement and also be protected from a collateral point of view. This is a big win, and many thanks to Bank of Uganda for leading this initiative.
The ABSA Bank Financial Markets Index has 6 pillars. Uganda attained positive results in market transparency, tax and regulations, and an increase in outstanding sovereign bonds, equities market, pension funds, among others.